Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to episode 2 of my America's Fictional series here with the San Jose North Stars. You can see, simmed ahead a week just for, for the fun of it. And we are 1-6, not a good start to our franchise. I think I'm going to do what I do with the other league, which is do a day at a time for the first month. Then we'll sim May. Then I'll come back and we'll do a day at a time in June. Or we'll sim through June, and then I don't know. Well, I think we're gonna sim ahead a day at a time. I don't want these videos to be uber long, so I think maybe we can probably get through. I probably do it kind of in the same vein where we get through 2 or 3 episodes a year. The sim time's a whole lot faster because it's only just the one league, but I think that's probably the plan. So we're gonna sim the rest of April here, kind of one day at a time. Again, guys, thank you for the support. First video is doing pretty well. Join the Discord if you haven't already. I'll leave that link below. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment. Video 2, algorithm, blah, 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 blah. Let's go ahead and move forward. So we're taking on some of the changes I made. Right, I should look at that. So I had some suggestions. Let me find all of them. I have them written down here. So we had a couple of suggestions made for some of the team names and whatnot. So I want to find those. All right. So we have Icer67 Glacier wanted us to change Sioux Falls to Flint. So we have done that. So the Flint Arrows are now in the Great Plains division, along with Kansas City, Chicago, and Omaha. They are the Flint Arrows. I like that logo. That's pretty cool. It's got kind of a Indian, Native American teepee thing going on there with the arrow through it. I kind of like that. So we did that. Let's see. Somebody wanted us to get rid of New York for Buffalo, so I did that. I think I just changed the team from New York to Buffalo. So they're now the Buffalo Slayers rather than the New York Slayers. And I think those are the only changes that were asked of me. Let me make sure. Somebody had asked me to leave a link to the logos mod. I copied that. I responded to him with that link, but I'll also drop that link below. So if you want the logos mod, you will have it. So those were the changes that we made, and we are 1-6 out of the chute here in last place. And let's start simming. As this is who? This is Los Angeles. Oh, why does it say LA? Did I forget to change something? I may have. Let's go here. League settings, league and team, San Francisco. Did I forget to change? Where are they? Yeah, I forgot to change them. All right. I thought I had gotten everything else, but it turned out I hadn't. All right, so now it should say San Francisco rather than... Yep, okay, so the San Francisco Tritons are 4-2 out of the chute. Pretty good offense, pretty good pitching staff against the North Stars, who are not pitching and not hitting. We do need we need a third base coach. Something I didn't do. So we need a third base coach. So let's go in, let's take a look at the coaches, and let's find ourselves some good coaches. What is our first base coach good at? Not really much. He's pretty bad. So we may want a first and a third base coach. So let's just find 2 coaches that are good at everything, and let's just hire them. So we want somebody who is good at teaching catching. So John Buck. Let's bring him on as our third base coach. So if we had somebody who was good at teaching catching and infield, now we need somebody who's good at outfield and running. Tony Breeze, 74 years old. I don't want to bring in a 74-year-old coach. He's going to retire. Dave Capel as our first base coach. That works. So we'll bring in those 2 guys as our base coaches, and that will hopefully help our team develop, I guess. So let's see how this series goes. We've only won one game this year. We're 1-6. Make it 1-7. So our coaches are look like we're gonna get both of those guys in. There we go. So we get Buck and Capel, and we get a win. So let's go in and let's set our coaching staff. If I go to the right screen, staff roles. Legendary for Buck. Legendary for Buck. Legendary for Capel. And outstanding. That's what I like to see. That'll work. And we got a trainer who's pretty good. We got a scout who is pretty good. He's only favor tools. I really want somebody who is heavily favor tools, but there just aren't any that are really good. Oh, wait, that's not true. Looks like some of these guys, looks like we have some new additions. Carlos Miron. I mean, he's been coaching for 38 years. I can't imagine he's going to coach for that long, but we're going to offer him a 4-year contract. Bring him on board to be our new scout. So we win 7-2. We pick up our second victory of the season. We get 2 hits and 2 runs knocked in from Craig Hunt. Campbell, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. We get a complete game for Ricardo Estrada, the 22-year-old. Let's go. Another loss. And we're getting a lot of messages as we hire scouts. So we do pick up Moran, and we are now 2-9, 2-10. Hey, there's another win. So it looks like this is going to be a difficult first year for us. And the unfortunate thing is that we're not going to get the top pick. What I might do, no, I don't want to be all cheesy here, but what I was thinking about was changing the draft to when we get to the. You guys, let me know what you think in the chat box. If you think it's a good idea, I'll do it in the chat box. In the comments below, if you think it's a good idea, I'll do it. If you don't, I won't. I'm thinking about when we get to the draft, resetting the draft order based on the records at the draft. So the team with the worst record in the league at the draft would get the top pick. Team with the best record in the league would get the last pick. If you think that's a good idea, let me know in the comments. If not, I'll leave it the way it is, which was a randomized draft order that I did at the beginning of the season. So we win this one 6-5 in extras. Yeah, our offense is not very good. Raul Cruz hits his second home run of the season. McMahon, a couple of hits. I mean, we're missing 2 of our 3 best offensive players, so that's not helping. Brace pitches 5 2/3. He was our top overall pick. Road gets the win. All right, so we are 3-10. There we go. Soto eligible to come off the DL. Who goes back down to the minors? I think it's Cruz. Soto comes up, and let's reset our lineup here. We need Soto out there at second base, and we'll move him up in the lineup here as well, of course. We'll bat him second. And once we get our center fielder back, we'll have at least a decent 1 through 3. Gilliam's not hitting at all right now. That's obviously a concern. Nobody's really. I'm not going to really make any changes until at least we get to the end of the month. And then we'll kind of sort things out. So maybe we win 2 in a row. Let's go. So Soto gets on base 4 times in his debut, scores 3 runs. McMahon, 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Estrada with another victory. He's pitching well. We look for 3 straight. Nope. We lose 2-1. 3-2. Oof. 4-13. 4-14. 4-15. Yeah. We are not very good. Batello's out for 2 to 3 weeks now. I drafted a lot of young players, so this is not a huge surprise. But I was hoping our pitching would at least be able to maintain us a little bit. Our starters have the 6th best ERA. Our bullpen, which we knew was going to be at a weak spot because we didn't really start with relievers until later in the draft. But our starting pitcher's been pretty good. Bullpen hasn't been great. Our defense has been pretty good, and our offense is dead last. Soto is our number 3 overall pick. Let's get scouting reports on everyone since we're still low on the entire roster here. Request scouting report. Look at the minor leagues. We'll do the same thing. We'll look at all the 2.5-star and up guys and get scouting reports on them all. Yes, even the 25-year-olds. Request scouting report. That's what I want to do. All right, so we win this one 4-1. We pick up our 5th victory of the season over the Las Vegas Wings. 2 hits and an RBI from Hunt. Vitello goes 5 2/3 before going down with an injury. 6-3 wins. So back-to-back wins over the what were 13-6 Wings. Hunt a couple of hits out of the top spot in the order. Campbell has a couple hits. No power whatsoever to speak of from this team. Trogdon pitches well. 6 2/3 of 2-run ball. We got the Denver Wreckers now. We lose. We win. So we've won 3 out of 4. And that's a decent stretch of baseball. Guzman, is that a grand slam? It is. Guzman with a grand slam, his second home run of the year. McMahon hits his third. Mejia, I expected a higher batting average just based on the contact, but it's still, I guess, early, right? I mean, Estrada with another victory. He's, the ratings don't scream great pitcher, but, I mean, he's been pretty good so far. And we'll take a trip around the league here, just briefly. In a minute. So we get scouting reports. Trogdon up to very high, 2.5-star, 4-star. That's nice to see. Estrada, we saw his ratings just a second ago. Brace, yeah, he looks like, our new scout likes him an awful lot. Beagle drops. Soto's ratings drop. Gilliam's ratings, ugh, okay. I wish we could have had the scout prior to the draft. That obviously makes things a little bit easier. So Terry Ziegler is your hitter of the month in the Western Conference. It's 436. In the Eastern, it's Toby Smith. 13 home runs in the first month for the 27-year-old Toby Smith. Wow. 6th overall pick. That's pretty darn good. Pitcher of the month, Mario Santos of the Wreckers. And in the East, it's Willie Rivera, rookie. They have rookie of the month. Technically, they're all rookies, but all right. So we're 7-18 with a 211 team batting average. I don't know that there's a whole lot we can do from a lineup mix. From a WAR perspective, Price has been our best, but I'm sure that's all his defense. Yeah, I mean he's fantastic defensively. Argules hitting a $193. McLean, before we took him out of the lineup, was our best hitter at 286. Craig Hunt, 263. McMahon, Mejia, 298. But he needs to stay in that third spot. Look at all these negative WARs from our lineup. So we got to get Gilliam out of that leadoff spot. So what's the plan here? Pretty good against lefties, not so good against righties. So we're a very right-handed heavy team, so there's not really a better option at the moment. I mean, do we go with McLean against righties just because he's hitting right now? I mean, his ratings aren't any better, but he's hitting, so we may as well take advantage of it. But yeah, I mean, offensively, we're terrible. I mean, just across the board, we have 3 players with an OPS plus of over 100. Pitching has been better. Again, not great, but better. Brace has pitched well as a rookie. Beaumont has not pitched well, but definition of average, but that's not average. I mean, if you can get up to average, we'll be happy with that. Estrada has three of our 5 victories. Caballero hasn't started yet. Trogdon has not been good with that 87 ERA plus. BABIP's not unreasonable, so yeah, it's been a rough start. It's been a rough start to the season. If we look at the standings, the cream of the crop through the first month of the season are the Dallas Silverhawks at 18-7 on the year. They're hitting 289 as a team. They have the second leading offense, second in runs against. They're really, really good. Any one of these players, with the exception of Rumbaugh, would be the best hitter on my team. So they've got a really solid offense, very good pitching staff. That's in the Eastern Conference. Dallas Silverhawks. The Leon Beacons lead the Border Division. Juan Gonzalez, 368, 12 home runs, 26 RBIs, third-round pick, hitting the snot out of the baseball. And in the West, you've got the Wings at 16-8. We took 2 out of 3 against them, but they are 16-8 on the season. Best pitching staff in the conference. Only 80 runs allowed in 24 games. Eric Park, 3-0 with a 1.05 ERA. So, all right, guys, I'm going to sim the next couple of months because I do want to try to get through the entire regular season in this episode. So, I'm going to sim May. I'm going to sim June. I'll come back. We'll do July. Well, no, I can't do July because I asked you guys to put in the comments what I should do with the draft. So, I think this episode, and this, honestly, this is just going to be a bit of a quicker episode because I wanted to get something out since I'm not going to be around here over the next couple of days. So, yeah, I don't really know what I want to do here. Got through April. My phone keeps beeping. What is going on? I'm not that interesting. So, I think I sim May. I think I'll sim May, and then I'll come back and I'll do a day at a time in June, and I'll see where that leaves us from a time perspective. And if this episode is only, you know what? No, I'm going to keep going. My goal is to get through the entire regular season, and then maybe we do the off season as a separate episode, or playoffs when that happens as a separate episode. So we're just going to keep simming along here, and yes, we win 4-1. This will allow us to get to know the team a little bit better, I think, if we do it this way, at least initially. So any home runs? Osorio homers, McMahon homers, Caballero gets the spot start, goes 7, gives up 1 run. Another win. Back-to-back wins. We put up an 11-burger. 6 in the first. Mejia 4 for 5, 3 RBIs. McMahon with another couple hits. Price, Mejia homers twice. Trogdon with a very good start. 3 wins in a row for the North Stars to kick off May. And guys, if there are any teams you want to take a look at, let me know. I know a lot of you guys have left comments about sort of what team you're riding with. So I'll go back and I'll look at those. And when we get to, the midway point of the season or something, we'll take a look at those teams. So we win again. Brace pitches 7, doesn't get the win. And we sweep the Phoenix Deputies, the team that was right ahead of us in the standings. We sweep them. We win 11-3. It should be PHX. I don't know why it says PHO. I should change that. But Mejia with another good game. Guzman, couple of hits, 3 RBIs. Soto, not really hitting, average at 206. But offense picking it up here a little bit over the last week. Estrada picks up his 4th victory of the season. And let's get back into our schedule. Get a day off here, followed by 3 against the Winnipeg Ghosts, who are 10-20. They're the flip side of us. They have good offense and terrible pitching. So let's see if bad pitching beats bad hitting. Not in this game it doesn't. We win our 5th straight ball game. We are 12-18. Guzman 3 for 6 with an RBI. Alani's with 2 runs knocked in. McLean 2 for 6, 3 runs knocked in. Beaumont gets the win. We look for 6 in a row. Nope, we lose 11-1. And then lose 2-1. We stay up in Edmonton. Villegas is not going to be back from a sprained ankle anytime soon. So 5 straight wins followed by 3 straight losses, 4 straight losses, 5 straight losses, and Botello is ready to come back. Caballero can go back down to AAA. We will call Botello up, stick him back in the rotation. So, streaky. Yeah, I mean, got off to obviously a really, really bad start. And then that 5-game winning streak was the best baseball we had played to date. Now we've turned around with 5 straight losses. We bounced back with a win over the Chicago Privateers in extra innings. 4-2. Ow. Price with a couple RBIs. Campbell 2 for 4. I can't wait to get our center fielder back out there. Guzman with another home run. Only hitting a $191. 52nd ranked prospect in baseball. He's probably up too early, but I don't really have another option. Botello goes 6. Second game in Chicago is another win. Mejia has been really our only good hitter. 874 OPS, 136 OPS plus. Been good for one WAR. He's a fan favorite, high work ethic. 17 RBIs. Guzman and McMahon each have 18. McMahon's doing okay too. mean, not great. I mean, OPS and OPS plus are below average, but I mean, he's been sort of productive. We had a lot of home runs. McMahon with 1, Guzman with 1, Mejia with 2, and Campbell. So 5 home runs. Trogdon is hurt. Hamstring soreness. Okay. Again against Chicago, another extra inning loss and a 7-4 loss. So we had the player of the week in the Western Conference here, and that was Aaron Campbell. It was 13 for 22, 591 batting average that week. That'll play. Vancouver, 3-2 loss, 5-3 loss, 3-2 loss. Oof. So Villegas is now ready to come back, so Glidewell can go back down to the minors. Villegas will come up. He'll come into the lineup, and we have to readjust our lineup here a bit. I think Villegas... Basically, we're just going to move everybody down one, I think. Something like that. Something like that. McLean, Villegas, Mejia, Soto. I think that works. I mean, it gives us a decent 1 through 4. Not great, but decent 1 through 4. So, yeah, a lot of changes in here. I don't want McLean starting every second game at second base, especially when he's my starting DH. My DH with absolutely no power. My 30 home run power designated hitter, but he's hitting 329, so whatever it is, it's working. All right, so we've lost 7 in a row, and we're going into Omaha to face the 27-18 Omaha Fire, who pretty good offense, good bullpen, starting rotation is okay, and we win. A 3-1 victory. Couple hits for McMahon, couple hits for Price. Mejia with his 7th home run of the year. Botello 6 2/3 to pick up his 3rd win of the year. Second game against Omaha is another win. So we're beating the teams that we shouldn't be beating. We're 16-31, and we just 2 out of 3 from the 27-18 division-leading Omaha Fire. Mejia 2 hits, Villegas 2 hits, and an RBI. Home runs for Price and Soto. Trogdon goes 5. Road is 3-3. He's pitching a bunch. All right. We look for the sweep over the Fire, and we don't get it. So we got some divisional games here now. San Francisco and Las Vegas is a 4-1 win over the Tritons. Soto 2 for 5. Villegas 2 for 4. No home runs. Estrada is got a sprained ankle. Game 2 against the Tritons is a 2-1 loss. The final game of the series is an 8-4 win. So still not a great month, but month 2 was better than month 1. We only won, I think, 7 games in the first month. We've won 11 here in the second. Villegas, is that his first home run of the season? It is. Alanis hits his second. McMahon 2 hits, drives in 3. Botello is 4-4 with a 2.82 ERA. And now we got Las Vegas to go into June. And we win again. So 3 out of 4 and 5 out of 7 here for the North Stars to finish up the month of May. Guzman 1 for 3, drives in 3. Hunt 1 for 5. They each homer. Trogdon goes 6 2/3. And the final game of May is a 6-1 loss. So we are 19-34 through the month of May. Anybody? I don't know most of these names. I haven't learned most of these names yet. So Hunt gets a little worse, but he's a defensive guy. I mean, ideally he's a 4th outfielder, but right now he's starting for us. So Herrera gets a little worse. This is our big prospect, and he's down to 4 stars too. So I think he was our other. Yeah, David Arroyo was our other good one, but again, 17 years old, still a ways away. Walt Boynton is your. Nope, it's right here. No, that was right. I'm sorry. Walt Boynton of the Silverhawks is your batter of the month for the month of May. He's got 25 home runs and 53 RBIs, a 332 batting average. In the Western Conference, Dave Melton, 428 batting average for the 34-year-old Melton. Pitcher of the month in the Eastern Conference, Jose Collazo. He's 7-2, 240 for the Gulls. And Luis Zuniga, 7-3, 295 for the Generals. Eastern Conference Rookie of the Year, Angel Contreras. And in the West, it's Gus Yamas. So, again, quick round about the league in the Eastern Conference. Your cream of the crop is still the Silverhawks along with the Beacons. The Juarez Royals currently have that top playoff spot with the Gulls and the Slayers behind them. Bringing up the rear in the East are the Chihuahua Dust Devils at 19 and 35. Much like us, they struggle with the bat and they're okay on the mound. In the Eastern Conference, the Wings are still the best team out west. A little bit more cramped, though. The Wings are the best team. War Dogs 32 and 22, and then the Fire at 31 and 22. And we're tied with, or a game behind the Deputies, who've now lost 10 straight games to fall to 19 and 32. They are a game ahead of us. We were 12 and 16 in the month of May, so we went from 7 and 18 to 12 and 16. I will take that every single day. So I think what I'm going to do, just because it's my league and I can do what I want, is I think I am going to reset the draft order based on where the teams are when the draft comes up. So I will do that, offline here as I sim through June. I'll go in and I'll change. Oh, I can't change it. I can't change it until the day of the draft. So so that's what we'll do. So I think I will sim June offline, and when we come back, we'll go in and we'll do July, and then when we get to the draft, I will reset the draft order. We'll do the draft. We'll get through July, and then we'll probably sim the rest of the season offline. I mean, I can probably get through this first season pretty quickly with how bad we're going to be, but I just don't want the videos to be 2 hours long if I can help it. You guys know I like to keep them kind of in that hour and 15-minute range. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for. So we will be back on June 1st. Or July 1st, rather, and we will take care of the month of June. I'll be right back. Hey, guys, welcome back. And we're back a lot sooner than I had anticipated because apparently, unless you change the default, the draft defaults to June 5th. So we are on June 5th right now. It is draft day. We will change that for next season. I want to push it back to July to give us some additional scouting time. I did readjust the draft based on the records. It's my league. I can do what I want with it. So there you go. Speaking of that, I need to come in here and turn off commissioner mode. So you can see here is the draft order. San Jose North Stars, your very own San Jose North Stars, have the number 1 pick, as we are 20 and 38, have the worst record in the league. Phoenix Deputies, second worst record in the league, in the same division as us, with the number 2 pick. And the Las Vegas Wings, with a 40 and 18 mark, have the best record in the league, so they get the last pick of the first round. So I went through and you can see all the froms and twos and stuff. Those are all the changes that had to be made. Some of these teams were actually in the right spot, believe it or not. So yeah, it is draft time. So I think we'll get through the draft. I'll sim June offline, and then come back and we'll do July day by day. And I think we'll call it an episode. I think we'll kind of keep it in the same pace that we do some of our other videos, which is I sim April day by day in May, sim June day by day in July, and then the next episode is either September plus the postseason, or it's the off-season episode. So I think that's kind of how we'll keep this. It keeps the videos right at about an hour. So let's get to the draft. We have the top pick in the draft, and there are 2 names that I am focusing on, and it's gonna be not a challenge per se to decide which one we want, because there are a couple of really really good players in here, but it's need versus maybe the best player available. So if we look at batters, which is our obvious need, the best hitter available in the draft is Efrain Miranda, 17-year-old center fielder out of, I'm not even going to try, Chal Shuihutan. I'm going to butcher it, so I don't want to offend anybody, so I'm just not going to try. He's a senior out of Mexico, but lives in Knoxville, Tennessee. Looks like he could be a center fielder with those ratings. Very good contact, above average gap power, home run power, eye discipline, the avoid K. I mean, it is a ways to go at age 17, but obviously he's the consensus best player in the draft. Santos Miranda's not bad, but the low work ethic scares me off. Joe Thomas is the most ready now with the high work ethic, very good second baseman, but I don't like the 23-year-old with the 30 avoid K. That tells me he's probably not going to. I mean, OSA likes him more than us, to be fair, but even with that being said, we're not ready yet for a 23-year-old to come up and make that big of an impact. Norm Hillegas looks like a good shortstop, very good shortstop, high leader, 70 infield range. Yeah, he looks pretty sharp as well. So those are kind of the main options. I'm leaning Miranda if we go with a bat, but here's the issue, is that there are some pitchers in this draft that are absolute studs. We start with Francisco Sandoval, a 19-year-old out of Mayorga, I believe that's what that is. Just 60 stuff, 80 movement, 60 control, 3+ pitches, 65 stamina. Excuse me. The only issue here is his bonus demand is $10 million, so that's going to eat up the majority of our draft budget. And you got Ben Hill, a 21-year-old, just as good, really. 60 stuff, 80 movement, 65 control, 3+ pitches, ground ball pitchers, 55 stamina, high leader, loyalty, work ethic, low greed. Bonus demand is under slot. Mike Humphrey is kind of the next round. 65 stuff, 60 movement, 60 control, 3+ pitches, a splitter, high loyalty, low greed, and then you kind of go down from there. Oh, Jesus Mendez is really good as well. 4 pitches, 75 movement, 70 control, 65 stamina. So really 4 elite pitches. I think we take Sandoval out of the equation and probably Mendez out of the equation as well, just because of what they are making. And I'd like to be able to spread that money out a little bit. So for me, it comes down to Hill, Humphrey, or Miranda. And from a need perspective, Miranda's the right pick. But I don't think you draft based on need, especially given this is our first draft. So I think we're going to go one of the starting pitchers. I think we're going to go Hill or Humphrey. So he's 60, 80, 65, fastball, curveball, 55 changeup, 55 stamina. He's 21. And then you've got Humphrey, who's a little more developed at age 20. OSA doesn't like him as much. His nickname is K Suzuki. That is a nickname. Hill is a year older. With those ratings and that age, he's probably not getting to the big leagues until he's 24. Yeah, and see, an OSA sort of agrees with our scout. Doesn't like his changeup quite as much. That's a concern. That changeup doesn't develop. He becomes a 2-pitch pitcher. Oof. It's a tough decision. Mendez has the better ratings, but the pitches aren't as good. Humphrey is the most developed. OSA doesn't like him as much as we do, though. We have him as a ground ball pitcher. OSA has him as neutral. Literally, our scout likes him. Let's see who they think we should take. He thinks we should take Sandoval. I mean, is it really that easy? That's $10 million. Our player development, we have an $18 million draft budget. Our owner is controlling all this stuff right now. I'm hoping I can change it in the offseason, but right now our owner is controlling all of it. I mean, I think Sandoval's probably the pick then. 19 years old, 65 stamina. I'm not crazy about the fact that he doesn't have the high work ethic, the high, all that stuff. But, I mean, he's got the pitches, fastball, cutter, splitter. You don't have to worry about the changeup not developing. We're very high in terms of our scouting accuracy on him. He's the only one that we're at that level with. So I think we're going to go Sandoval. I think I just talked to myself into Sandoval based on my scout and what they think. So we're going to take Francisco Sandoval with the first pick ever in the American Baseball Association first-year player draft. And we will sim to our next pick. And all right, so who do they think we should take with our second pick? Dave Trevino, another very good starting pitcher. I'm not against taking another starting pitcher. Would like to see what's available for bats, though. Batting potential. There's still some options here for sure. Alejandro Alcala looks like he's pretty good. Pretty good third baseman. I mean, the bat's okay, not great. Josh DeBattista. I mean, he's more of a right fielder, but still pretty well developed. The eye and discipline and the avoid K. He's going to strike out a ton right now. But, I mean, he looks like a decent player. I don't know that I would take him in the second round. Jason Anderson. Again, the issue is the scouting accuracy is not very high on many of these players. Sorry about that. I got a phone call from a number I didn't recognize, so I wanted to see who it was. So, yeah, the issue is that we don't have very high scouting on a lot of these guys. So I'm trying to be very cautious about how I do this. Alejandro Alcala looks like a pretty good third baseman. I don't want to take a shot on a guy who our scouting is low on, especially someone like this who has a low work ethic. He looks like a decent player, but low work ethic, low scouting. I'm not comfortable with that. I don't mind DeBattista. Scouting is high. They think he's going to be more of a doubles hitter. We think he's going to be more of a contact guy. Defensively, he looks pretty good. Looks like he's going to be a decent right fielder, not a center fielder, but a right fielder with that range and that arm, which we need. But again, I don't want to draft based on need. We should in theory have money to spend. So, maybe finding those bats in free agency is the way we go, but because the best players available in the draft are still pitchers. They're still pitchers, without question. You got Dave Trevino, who is, we have him rated as very high. He doesn't throw fastball, doesn't throw particularly hard. Finesse pitcher, 60 stamina. He wants 3.8. Slots 1.9. I mean, we can afford it, but do we want to, again, spend another $3 million on a pitcher? Or I think I want to go... I feel like you always should just take the best player available in a draft, so I think that's what we're going to do. It just comes down to who it is. I think we take Trevino. I think we go with our scout. I think it's a good pick. There are plenty of good bats, or decent bats, but none that are better than that pitcher. I like DeBattista. You know what? I think I'm gonna take a shot at DeBattista. I think we're gonna go after the bat. 6'1", 185 pounds. Assuming the eye and the avoid K develop, that's a really. See, here's the issue: is that if that eye and that avoid K does not develop, this is a busted pick. Because he's good defensively. He'll hit for decent enough average, decent enough power, but he's going to strike out a metric ton. So his entire batting profile will be based on his bat speed, right? His contact and his power. So once that starts to fade, he becomes an unvalued player, or a player that just doesn't have a ton of value. OSA doesn't like him quite as much. I think we take the pitcher. I think we take Dave Trevino and just and just try to bulk up that pitching staff. That might be the wrong pick, but that's what we're going to go with. It's the third round. Yeah, Dave Bautista's now gone. All right. So I think now we have to take a shot at a bat here, whether it's somebody that we're high on or even average on, I think is something we need to do. So you got Sean Carlson. Looks like a decent contact bat. Not going to hit for a lot of power. Not going to draw a lot of walks. Strictly a contact guy. Jason Anderson. I think Jason Anderson, we have him as average. OSA has him as average, but they're close. Not a great fielder. Passable left fielder, but really good arm, good bat. I think we're going to take Jason Anderson here in the third round. Fourth round. He's not really a shortstop. He's more of a second baseman with those ratings. Alex Rayhone. We're high scouting. Pretty, above average bat, but I say that's it, but that's it. Jesus Rios. We're very high on him. He could play. Again, the range is not great. He's not bad. Tony Rodriguez, an 18-year-old catcher. That's a Yasmani Grandal kind of profile there. I kind of like that, though, with the 80i. I don't know if I like him enough to take him right here. I might. Let's go back to pitchers. Right now, I kind of like that catcher. Excuse me. Gossard isn't bad. He's fragile, though, as a 17-year-old. That's concerning. All right, let's go back here. Let's look at all players and see if there's a pitcher that's actually a hitter or something. Doesn't appear to be, but that's okay. Coronado. Yeah, I like Coronado. Looks like he can play all three outfield positions. High work ethic. OSA doesn't like him as much, but that's fine. We will take Jonathan Coronado with our fourth pick, and we are spending every penny of this draft budget, and that's fine. We got the money. We may as well. Is that catcher still there with the 80 batting eye? If he is, I think I'm going to take him. He is. Tony Rodriguez. I dig the eye. His catcher ability is fine. High intelligence. Hopefully he can develop as a catcher. All right, let's go back to... Let's go to pitchers. So we got a Marty Friedman, who's not really a pitcher. He's or not really a starter. He's a reliever with that changeup. He might not be bad. We just need talent in the minor leagues, right? 6'8", 210, high loyalty, adaptability, work ethic, low greed. Yeah, I'm going to take a run at him. Isaias Mendoza, he's another one. End up making him a reliever here, absolutely. Try to improve that pitching staff. Let's go to fielding potential now. See if we can find ourselves a nice young infielder. Yep, Manny Astudillo. Bat looks okay. Carlos Marquez. Can't turn the DP, so I don't know what that means from a positional rating. Like third base, maybe? That's interesting. It's a really interesting profile. I kind of like it. He's got the high eye and discipline. Low work ethic, though, I'm not crazy about. Chris Schrack. Outfield range. Let's take a look at some of these guys. Wow, look at those ratings. I can't pass that up. I'm probably overdrafting him, but I can't pass that up. Low work ethic and whatnot. Prado. Let's go back to infield range. Yeah, we'll take Astudillo. catchers left. We already have one, so I mean, we can always take more, right? It's not just the one. Excuse me. Batting potential. What do we have left for power? Scott Stannard. JUCO freshman. High intelligence, low leader, low loyalty. He's got some pop. Yeah, we can take him. It's not my pick. Now we can take him. Sergio Juarez. I like the home run power in the eye. And we'll take him. Just trying to get some additional talent in our big league, in our system, right? I mean, that's the key here. Antonio Iglesias. 2 stars, decent home run power, very good eye, high intelligence, sure. Let's look at individual pitch potential. Reynoso, no. You know, I'm hoping maybe I can find, somebody like this who only has 2 pitches. He's listed as a starter, but is actually a reliever with that stuff. Not a lot of talent left. Not a lot of talent left in the draft at all. I think we got some good picks. I'm happy with my first pick, but I'm also concerned, right? You're always concerned with that top pick because you don't want it to be a bust. Any knuckleballers in this draft? We do. Ricky Reynoso. Sure, we'll take Ricky Reynoso. I love a good knuckleballer. Anybody with any individual skill talent left? He's good, but it's impossible signing. Matt Brown, low work ethic. Terry Charleston, sure. He looks okay. We just looked at Matt Brown, right? Brad Keller. Yeah, why not? At this point, why not? Again, you're just looking for that guy who's got that one tool that might develop. Eddie Signs, decent enough defensively. His batting profile looks all right. Sure. We got 3 rounds left. I mean, we'll take Gonzalez, see what he wants in the 17th round. I mean, there's no harm in it at this point. Aaron Marquis, 17-year-old, low work ethic, but the ratings look decent. And then our last pick will be a defensive player. Maybe. Oof. Nate Williams, sure. Not my pick. Oh, wow. Okay. So, not much left. Look at that. All right. Pitching potential. Mike Butner. Yep. Oh, now it's our last pick. Alberto Lara, the only 2.5-star player left. Sure, whatever. All right. Now there is the draft. Let's go ahead and negotiate. Give Sandoval his money. All the guys that are demanding overslot, we got to just give them all their money now. Yeah, we spent almost every penny of that $20 million or whatever it was. Tony Rodriguez. Gonzalez wants over 8, and he wants over 3.6. Yeah, we're going to let them both walk. So there is our draft. So I'm going to go ahead, guys, and sim through the end of June. We'll come back and we'll do July, and it'll probably be a relatively quick July. I got a couple of deals that we could potentially make if we look at our salaries. We only have $27 million in contracts this season. We have Jared Swift, who's making 6.2, Jeremy Anderson, who's making 1.2. They'll probably both be gone after this season, so we may try to trade them, see what we can get for them. The rest of these guys I'm probably going to hold on to. I mean, there's no reason not to, right? Botello has been one of our best pitchers. He's only making 2.8 next year. Mejia jumps up to 6, but we need that bat in the lineup. So we'll go through and we'll take a look. But I will be back on July 1st. All right, guys. It is July 1st, and your San Jose North Stars are no longer in last place. We are 33 and 47. I'm going to shut that off. It is off. Oh, it's beeping on my phone. That's what that is. 33 and 47. We were 14 and 13 in June. We had a winning record. Things are starting to come together here a little bit for us. We're not going to end up in the playoff hunt. I mean, we're 9.5 games out, 14 games out of the wild card, but we're putting together a decent second half of the season as we start to figure out the team a little bit. It's kind of the important thing, is figuring out the team. We're figuring out the team, and it's working. So we did sign all of our draft picks. They are all in rookie ball. We'll take a look at them in a minute. Player development, Villegas gets a little worse, but still looks like a very, very good center fielder. Likely, I mean, he's a number 2 hitter, might be a leadoff hitter if the eye and discipline come up, but he's a solid number 2 hitter. Vallejo is the number 84 prospect in baseball. He's pitching pretty well down in AAA. Rodney LaChance gets a nice bump, but doesn't really look like he has a future. Studlio was somebody we just drafted up to very high, a very good defensive shortstop. Looks like about it. Jason Anderson was our 3rd round pick. We're up to very high on him. Ranged up to a 50, which is nice. It means he can actually play left field. So batter of the month in the Eastern Conference. I almost called it the American League. The Eastern Conference is Mario Bueno of Buffalo. Mehi Sevoyan is the Western Conference batter of the month of the Tritons. Pitcher of the month in the Eastern Conference, Jonathan Baldwin of Tijuana. And Danny Espinoza of the Tritons is your pitcher of the month in the West. Rookie of the month, Ian Crenshaw and Danny Espinoza. So we can delete these. And we'll take a quick run through the league stats and stuff when we get to the end of the month, just so you can kind of get a feel for the teams. Guillermo Guzman went on an absolute power tear in the month of June. He's got 18 home runs now on the season. He hit 10 in 25 games in June, a .322 batting average, good for 1.3 WAR. Really just with the bat because he's below average defensively, but went on an absolute tear with the bat. Villegas hit the ball really, really well that month. 400 on base percentage, .350 batting average. Gilliam got hurt, and we called up Neil Rudman, who has he's our designated hitter. I mean, he can't really play, but he has a decent bat. Was hitting .313 in AAA, not doing all that well with us. But from a batting perspective, still not great, but better. Kevin Price is amazing. He's going to be one of my favorite players on this team. If the contact can reach a 45 or a 50, he is an all-world shortstop with that with those defensive ratings. Look at his defensive stats already. 16.2 zone rating, 1.156 efficiency. He is just an all otherworldly shortstop. He's on pace for a 5-win season with an 88 OPS plus and a .219 batting average. So he's been great. We talked about Guzman and Villegas. Campbell continues to get it done primarily with the glove, which is fine. Mejia's average has slipped a bit. Still one of the few hitters above average. Same with Soto, although the batting average is really light. He's still putting up a 106 OPS plus. McMahon, he's been all right. I mean, he's only 22, so you need to give him time. But McLean, another one of those who's out there for his glove. And he's been okay with it. I mean, he's been just above average, which is a little surprising given those ratings, but we'll keep throwing him out there. Our catching situation is a train wreck. Argules is hitting a .171. Alanis is hitting a .184, 35 OPS plus, 42 OPS plus. So our catching situation is a mess. And then Craig Hanna on right field is just awful. But again, defensively, he is very, very good out and right. So doing the best we can with what we have. From a pitching perspective, things look a whole lot better. Heath Brace, our young 22-year-old stud, wins his first 3 games of his professional career last month. He's 3-6 with a 2.78 ERA, 2.77 FIP. He's been terrific. Kenny Trogdon, another young pitcher, extreme ground ball, 23 years old. He's been really, really good. Botello is sort of the elder statesman at 29. He's been fantastic. Estrada, another 22-year-old. You see the pattern here, right? We have a lot of young pitchers. Excuse me. Rick Beaumont, who's really the worst of our young starters, it looks like he could be really, really good as well. 98 to 100 ground ball pitcher. ERA plus isn't there yet, but I think he'll be fine. Frank Beagle. Look at Frank Beagle and his .65 earned run average in 27 and 2/3 innings. Only 11 hits allowed. He's been great. So our pitching is in really good shape. I think we set ourselves up. I think we set ourselves up to be successful here within the next, I'd say, 2 years. We have a lot of really, really good pitchers. We just need to kind of supplement that with some offense. So speaking of offense, or I guess not speaking of offense, but speaking of our roster, we got a couple players whose contracts are up this year. Jarrett Swift, Jeremy Anderson. He's not interested in discussing with us. So neither of these guys want to discuss with us. So let's see if there are any batters available. And in fact, I think I'm going to do it right now. I think I'm going to drop the trading difficulty down 1 notch. I found that in fictional leagues, it becomes next to impossible to trade for anything when you have trading up all the way in a fictional league. So we'll do that. And we will see. Who's the other one? It's Jeremy Anderson, right? Yeah, and he's been really bad. But at least we get some offers now, and that's kind of what we're looking for. So really, we just need some bats. So what do we got? We got Mike Hodgson. Looks like a decent fielding center fielder with some pop in the bat. Good eye. Not going to hit for a super high average, but he looks okay. Mike Clayton. Nah. Fails to run out fly balls. That doesn't do it for me. Mike Priego. I don't hate it. Good gap power, good home run power, good eye and discipline. And then remember, this is for a reliever that we're not going to re-sign. So I'm not looking to break the bank here. I'm just looking for something that will make us better. Phil Gibbons might be that guy. He's out for a while. But let's get a scouting report on him. Because if these are his ratings, very good defensively. I mean, we could stick him in right field and he would be an immediate upgrade in the outfield at age 26. So let's get a scouting report on him. Let's get a scouting report on, who was it? There was another outfielder up here, right? Yeah, Hodgson. Let's get a scouting report on him as well. Oh, we're already very high on him. Okay. What if we did both? David Naughton. Again, we need a catcher, but Eric Poss. I mean, he's hitting .294 this year for Toronto. Scouting reports. We're not gonna. I get some scouting reports on some of these guys, and maybe the end result is a little bit better. We need a catcher. And he's good defensively, so let's get a scouting report there. Maybe he's actually 3 stars, not 2. Skylar Krasick. Looks like Juarez wants them pretty badly. Berra's not bad. But it's at a position that we actually have somebody at already. So, and I wouldn't mind bringing in a veteran. I mean, we're a very young team. Shelton looks pretty good. I mean, his contract is up at the end of this year as well, though. There's Sayavon. He was the batter of the month this past month. Lance Mills. Again, we need catching, but Marquez, good defensively. I think this might be the play. Ken Sincata. Let's get a scouting report. He looks pretty okay. Same thing with Fernandez. Yeah, I mean, Kansas City might be the way to go here. Is they're looking to give up some actual, like, I think Sincata has actual talent. He's 24, strikes out a crap ton, but good speed. He's decent enough defensively, can play first base, good gap power, good home run power, good eye and discipline. We'll see what sorts of answers we get there. So let's go ahead and sim ahead a couple of days. We have the Vancouver Saints on the books for 3 games. First game is a 9-1 loss. Oh, international free agency. Forgot about that. And I don't think we have a full 5 because our owner is a douche. Oh, we've got 5. The cap is 7.7. All right, so that cap actually went up. So we have $5 million to spend. And all these players are going to want more than that, but we will try nonetheless. Stuart Loij, L-O-O-I-J. I don't even know how to pronounce that, but that's a guy I want on my team. I mean, I don't suspect that we're going to be able to get any of these guys with the money that we have. What do we have? What was that number again? Right here, 5010. All right, well, let's try it. 5010. Yeah. I don't think we're going to be able to get any of these guys in that range. That's really unfortunate. How is it under rules? International. Excuse me. I'm trying to find the international amateur like stuff. It's got to be here someplace. So rule 5. Not our financials. It's not here. There it is. Okay. So, I mean, I guess we can leave it. It doesn't really matter. It just means we're not going to have any money to really play with here in international signing, unless some of these guys are, truly interested in signing with us. Let's see. Okay, so Ian Scab Zalm will take our $5.1 million. We'll see if that's enough to get him. My guess is that it's not, but we will see. He's happy with us, sort of. Top 100 prospects. We've got Sandoval at number 4, so that's nice. So our top pick is the number 4 prospect in the game. So we lose again. So we lose 9-1 and then 9-2. Final game of the series against Vancouver is a 3-1 victory. There we go. Hunt with a couple of hits. Guzman with a couple of RBIs. Brace picks up his 4th win of the year. And no news is good news from the shortstop that we offered a contract to. So if he doesn't come back to us and say this team offered us more, we're in good shape. But there's the message right there. All right, he prefers the contract from Buffalo. That is fine, so we can't offer him. So scouting accuracy here is low. The Wings have made him a maximum offer, so there's nothing I can do there. Let's offer him the full amount that we can offer. Stephon Girard, a 15-year-old who is already 6'2", a $180. Game 2 against Edmonton is a 4-1 victory, so that's a couple of wins here in the last 3 games. Beaumont picks up the win. Yeah, I think we're set up really, really well from a pitching perspective. So Girard doesn't want to sign with us. Yeah, I think we're gonna get shut out of international signing here this year, and that's, I mean, it's fine. Yeah, I'm just hoping maybe that one of these guys was like elite defensively, and you might get somebody who can develop that way. I mean, I suppose we could ask Noda, but again, he wants $7 million. It's not worth $7 million to me. What about Perini? He wants 7.5. Yeah, so we're going to be shut out of international free agency this year. Hopefully in the offseason we can bump that budget up a bit. So 3 games in Winnipeg now. We lose Trogdon for 4 to 5 weeks. That is not good. We'll call up Caballero, put him back in the rotation. We got Brace on the mound today. And it's a 3-1 win. Man, he is so good. 7 shutout innings. We get home runs from Villegas and McMahon. Oh, scouting reports. Right, that's what I was looking at. I wanted to look at those scouting reports. Did I delete them already? No, I didn't. They're all right here. Okay. So Poss looks okay. Egbert is truly a 2-star. Bruning, I don't know why I was looking at him. Oh, I wasn't. Scouting report. Here we go. Phil Gibbons. Dealt with an elbow strain, 2-star, 2.5-star, 55 home run power. He's not bad. Sergio Fernandez, again, he's not bad either. All-Star games. In the Western Conference, San Jose had Heath Brace. No surprise there. Anybody else? Heath Brace. And that is it. Just Heath Brace makes the All-Star team for the East. Prospects, who knows? I mean, it's year 1. Jason Gant made it. That's it. All right. So, I think we get through the All-Star game. Get through the All-Star game weekend, I guess, and then kind of readdress some of the trades. We lose Aaron Campbell for a couple of weeks. All right, we get Gilliam back in a week. I'm just going to pull him off the DL because he'll be back sooner rather than later. Oh, so we win the last game going into the All-Star break. We went 6-4. I didn't realize there was a game there. I don't know how I missed that. Argello 3 for 4. Oh, that's not our Argello. And it's Argelese. So Guzman 2 for 4 with a home run. It looks like Soto has 3 hits. Hunt has 3 hits. Estrada goes 6. Bullpen does an okay job. So now we can get through the All-Star game. And who won? The East beat the West. Oh, the West beat the East in the All-Star game. How did... He didn't pitch. Okay, so our one All-Star participant did not pitch, but the West beats the East in the All-Star game. So we got Phoenix now. So now let's go back in and let's offer up Swift and Anderson. Let's get rid of veterans. I mean, I don't necessarily need a high-paid veteran. You know, I'd rather have regulars. You know, you get some younger names that way. I mean, could I get McRae? And Sincata? Chris Cleveland. Same type of bat. The low contact, high gap, high power. Let's try to get them both. They have them in AAA? Yeah, they do. You want Jonathan Bartholomew? I will give you Jonathan Bartholomew to lock that down right now. Let's do this, though. Can we get any cash from you? Lot of 2.5-star and 3-star type players. So what about 2.5? Where is Bartholomew? Because I'm going to put him on there and then see how much cash I can get back. Right there. Let's go back up to 3. Because I don't mind selling, like, garbage players to them. Yeah, like, I don't mind. Yeah, you want Woodside? Sure. So let's try 4 million. Oops. Raul Cruz? Sure. So we're going to send 2 relievers, Jarrett Swift, Jeremy Anderson, 2 pitchers who are not interested in re-signing with us, and then 2 really bad minor leaguers, Jonathan Bartholomew and Raul Cruz. And in exchange, we will get Ken McRae, and we will get Ken Sincata. So we add a new catcher and another bat, as well as $4 million. So we will make that deal. So that gave us a little bit of cash. So now we have to sort out our roster here a little bit. So Alanis can go down to AAA. No, we can't, but that's fine. I will just DFA him because he's really bad. I can't imagine anybody takes him. We do need to call up a couple of pitchers, though. So I think Soto's time is now. And Matt Cameron can come up. And then are there any bats that we want to send down that have just been that bad? Batting ratings. Yeah, I guess Rudman can go down. And Sincata will come up. So what do we want to do with the lineup? Let's just do that for now. So Arguelles and McRae will swap every second game. I am totally fine with that. Our DH against lefties. I mean, let's just leave it with McLean. I mean, he's hitting the ball well. Actually, it really should be Gilliam. Yeah. Sincata's got some good ratings against lefties, so we'll go with that. All right, and then we got to reset our pitching staff. So middle relief and long relief, I suppose. It doesn't really matter. Road can be set up. 8th or later, high leverage. Garcia, middle relief, and he will be used more often because he's been really good. All right. So I'm going to pause, and then I'm going to come back, and we will sim the rest of July. Be right back. All right, let's get back to the end of July. I don't think there are really any other moves that I want to make. most of our roster is cheap and young. I think the oldest player on our roster is 32, and both of these guys are in AAA, so they'll both be gone. The youngest, we don't have a single player on our big league roster over the age of 30. So we are a young team, which is kind of the way I wanted it. Build up a young team and show and have some success that way. So we also have Mike Bianco, whose contract expires. He wants $1 million. Okay, that's reasonable. I'm fine with that. I mean, we have a $22 million payroll right now, so yeah, we don't have a lot to worry about from a financial perspective. I think our finances. I think this number jumps up next season, so we should have plenty of money. The meddling and controlling fiscal personality is a little concerning, but we will manage. So let's sim the rest of the month, and then we'll kind of take a run through of the league stats as we are on the road against Phoenix here for 4 games. 6-4 win in 11, so we continue to play decent baseball. Get a home run from Mejia. Botello goes 7 1/3. We win the game in extras. Game 2. 10-0 win over the Deputies. Let's go. 7-run first inning. Guzman hits his 20th. McRae, in his first game as a member of the North Stars, goes 2 for 4 with 5 runs knocked in. Couple of home runs. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the team, Ken. Brace picks up his 6th victory with 8 1/3 shutout. Another win. So we have now won 5 straight. Guzman with his 21st. He's up to 60 runs knocked in now. Mejia with 3 hits. Villegas hitting .333. Guzman and Price each homer. Caballero picks up the win. And we look for the 4-game sweep. We don't get it. We turn around now and we face the top team in the division, Las Vegas. They beat us 4-3, 2-1. And we beat them 5-1 in the final game of the series. Villegas get hurt. He did. Hopefully it's not a long-term injury. No, he's fine. Brace, 7-6. He was 0-6 at one point in the season. He's won his last 7 outings. Villegas and Price both homer again. 4 now against Omaha. 2-0 victory. Gilliam doubles. Villegas has a double. Argules has a couple of hits. Estrada, 8 shutout. 11-7 loss and a 9-2 loss. All right. So tell me that our... Yep. Of course. Of course this is what happens. All right. Well, hopefully it doesn't cause long-term issues. Trevino can get called up. He's been really good. All right, we'll take a look at all the stats here in a minute. That's disappointing that our top pick is already out for a year. All right, so we got the Privateers now for 3, followed by 4 in Flint to take on the Arrows. We win this game 4-0. Villegas and Guzman each have a couple of hits. McRae with a couple of hits. Osorio with a couple of hits. Brace with another victory. That ERA down to 2.15 on the season. Game 2 against Chicago is an 8-0 loss. And the final game of the series against the Privateers is a 3-2 loss in 10. Campbell is ready to come back. Who does he replace? Send Osorio back down. Get Campbell back up. All right. First game of the series against the Arrows is a 2-1 loss and a 6-5 win. We get 2 RBIs from Simcata, 3 hits, 2 RBIs from Price. Botello improves to 6-10. That ERA is a bit high, but that's okay. Game 3 against Flint, 2-0 loss, and the final game of the month is a 8-6 loss. So we are 44-63 through the month of July. 11 and 16 in July. I mean, April was really, really bad, right? We were 10 and 25 at the end of April, or 7 and 18 at the end of April, but we've essentially been hanging right around 500 since the end of April. We're 26, 37, and 45. So we're 8 games under 500, roughly. Did I do that math right? I think. 8 or 9 games under 500 since the beginning of the month. So we by no means have been good, but we haven't been as bad as we were in April. It's player development. Botello drops a little bit. He's down to 3 stars, but still a solid starting pitcher for us. Tony Sandoval, that movement's going to hinder him. Pitcher of the month, or the batter of the month in the East is Angelo Sanzo. Out West, it's Matro Hernandez of the War Dogs. Nick Rader is your pitcher of the month for the Seals in the East, and Heath Brace is your pitcher of the month in the Western Conference. Estevez, rookie of the month. I'm not really paying much attention to the rookie of the month because everybody technically is rookies. So we're 23rd in the standings. We're not a good team, but I think some of the pieces are there. So let's take a quick look at our stats, and then we'll bounce around the league and call it an episode. So Kevin Price, again, leading the team 2.6 WAR, even though he's hitting 214. That defense is so good. Guillermo Soto, is he playing good defense? He's been okay, but 26 doubles in 85 games, a 456 slugging, 120 OPS plus, good for 2 WAR. Villegas had a nice year. McRae, 3 home runs already since coming over. Guzman's power kind of went away that month, but still leads us in home runs and RBIs. Mejia has been okay. It's sort of leveled off over the last couple months. McMahon has been pretty bad over the last couple. Yeah, I mean, offensively, we're not particularly good, but, again, I've been saying that all along. Pitching-wise, we've got an absolute star in Heath Brace, so our number 1 pick looks to be that guy. Botello, Beaumont, Estrada. Our other starters doing okay right now. Our bullpen's been fine. So, I mean, overall, we've got some pieces, and it's not going to be this year, may not even be next year. If we look at the league standings, the cream of the crop in the East are the Leon Beacons right now at 66 and 38. Best pitching staff in the East, second best or third best offense in the league. Look at those home runs. 183 home runs in 104 games. That is crazy. Teams have got some pop in their bat. The other team out east is the Silverhawks. Those are the 2 teams that are continuing to battle for the best record in the Eastern Conference. Their offense, led by Walt Boynton, was I think the 5th overall pick. Yeah, he's an animal. 8.6 WAR he's on pace for right now. 4 pitchers already with 10 wins, and that is a good team. Out west, the best team are the Edmonton War Dogs. Second best offense, first best pitching staff. Offense led by Wayne Folo, 26-year-old first baseman. It looks pretty good, but not better than some of the players we have. He's just performing. Their pitching staff looks okay. I mean, it doesn't look great, but it looks okay. If we take a look at the league leaders, where am I going? Eastern Conference League leaders. Jeff Powell leads the league in hitting right now, 333. Toby Smith for Toronto for the Clowns, 37 home runs already. The number 6 overall pick, on pace for a 57 and 125 season. 9.8 WAR, 207 OPS plus. Wow. That's somebody I would have taken if we were picking that high. Walt Boynton leads in RBIs and on base percentage. Toby Smith in WAR, OPS, slugging. It's the same names. It's Powell and Smith and Boynton for like everything. Oliver Borey, 30-year-old shortstop for the Royals with 32 doubles on the season already. David Sherman, 9 triples. Aaron North of Miami strikes at a ton, 118 times already. Joe Green, 56 stolen bases in 75 games. He's out for a couple of weeks, but a lot of stolen bases in this league. He's on pace for 86. Wow. 462 WOBA, 405 isolated power. Let's take a look at the West. Terry Ziegler leads the way in hitting for Flint with a 371 batting average. Ernie Byers for the Privateers with 32 home runs. He's 37 years old. He's having a good season. He was the 4th overall pick. He's having a good year, but I'm not taking him with the 4th overall pick. Russ Volpe for Flint, 39 years old, leads the league in RBIs. Terry Ziegler's 36. So Flint went with the old men. Seems to be working for him here as Volpe and Ziegler lead the Western Conference in just about everything. Seth Thorlickson leads the league in stolen bases. And then pitching leaders. We'll start in the West this time. Heath Brace, up there for just about everything. Leads the league in earned run average, WAR, strikeouts, walks per 9, whip. He has been elite for us. Luis Zuniga is the other really good pitcher in the West right now. 13-7 with a 2.74. He's good for 3.8 WAR. I wonder who's going to win the Cy Young. You know, he's got more wins, more innings pitched. He's walked fewer batters. No, he hasn't walked fewer batters. Or that's the most. He's walked the most batters, excuse me. He's walked the most batters. Then you got Brace leading the league in ERA, WAR, Ks, walk per 9, and whip. I feel like it has to be Heath Brace, right? ERA plus, quality starts, opponent batting average. It's got to be Heath Brace right now as your Cy Young Award winner in the Western Conference out east. John Elgar leads the league in ERA. Brooks Kleitz in WAR. Harry Boyette for Dallas and wins. John Hamelick with 13 losses for the best team in baseball, the Leon Beacons. They also have the league's loss leader, which is bizarre. And there are your league leaders for the Americas here at the end of July. So I'm going to sim through the end of the regular season, guys. So when we come back with the next episode, I will do the playoffs. I'll sim the playoffs sort of in front of everybody so we can see who wins. And then we will do the off season. So year number 1 for the Americas is moving on. We are into August. Next episode, we will get to the playoffs and the off season. Guys, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your support. I'll talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye.